Hello, this is Harvie S, and you are watching for BassPlayersOnly.com.
Hi everyone, John Liebman here. You're watching for BassPlayersOnly.com. We are here on location today at Colstein's Music Shop in New York with our very special guest, Harvie S. How you doing, Harvie?
Hey, John, good to see you again.
It's been a while since we spoke, and the first interview that we did was quite a while ago. And so we were talking about you had just come out with a duo record with, was it Barry Harris?
No, Kenny Barron.
Kenny Barron, I'm sorry. I had some of the same letters. But that was a while ago. By the way, that interview is still up there. Just go to forbassplayersonly.com and search Harvie, Harvie.
No EY, please.
And your last name is spelled?
S.
That's it, Harvie S. Well,
and no period.
Bring us up to date on what you've been doing, what's going on. What are you doing, Harvie?
Okay, well, let's see. Well, my main thing right now is I'm doing this band. I say band and I laugh. A duo with Sheryl Bailey, the great guitarist, and it's called Plucky Strum. And we have a CD out on Whaling City Music, which is a great label, and we're doing a tour in February of the West Coast.
February of 2016.
Yes.
Okay. Now I understand there was something kind of cool, a reissue of something you recorded back quite a while ago.
Well, actually, I can talk about two of them. One came out after my Now Is the Time CD, which we had talked about. I did a thing which is called Yesterdays, and it was from a concert in 1995 with Sheila Jordan, a bass and voice concert that was a radio broadcast, and I happened to have the copy of it on a DAT, and I forgot about it, and I listened to it. I said, oh, man. And I played it for Joe Fields and at High Note Records, and he just loved it, so he put it out, and that CD, did phenomenal. So that was really good. And then after that, I did a recording, kind of a follow-up with Kenny Barron. We went in the studio and recorded a duo CD, another duo CD, but this time, it was done in 2012, and it's called Witchcraft. Okay. Which we did combination of some standards. We did a Kenny Barron tune. We did one of my tunes, and the rest was standards and a couple of obscure tunes.
I've heard that, and I enjoyed it very much. I still have it.
And I was very happy that it was #1 on R&R in the nation. So I was pretty happy about that.
Good for you. Well deserved. I mentioned that we are in Colstein's shop. Tell us what attracted you to Colstein products, the Bussetto bass and the strings and the other things that you use.
Well, originally when I saw the Bussetto, I was thinking, that's going to be weird to play because it's very thin. And so I was never really, quite truthfully, very interested in it. And then I started to, check it out. Then I found a kind of a way to hold it and play it. And the sound is, you put it through an amp, it sounds like a good acoustic bass. And it's just great for traveling. And I use it on so many gigs. I use it for all my rehearsals. I'm getting I've told people, I said, it's a life changer because it just makes my life so much easier that I can carry that bass around and go places.
What about some of the other Colstein products that you use?
Barry asked me to check out the Heritage strings, and actually here I bought from Barry a 1920s Juzak, which is just magnificent. He had kind of completely rebuilt it, and I put the Heritage strings on, and it's just these strings are so good. They have almost a little of a gut sound. They don't sound real metally, they don't sound like metal, and they're warm and great sustain on the E string. They bow well. They're just great strings. And I'm using that Planet Wings pickup, which Barry doesn't make it, but he's distributing it, and I think it's made by somebody in Denmark. And I really love it. It's been great, and I've been on some recording sessions, and the engineers all said to me, "Oh, what is that pickup? I really like that." Even had a couple of engineers say, "Gee, I would like to take that pickup, and I just buy one and keep it in the studio and put it on basses when they come."
Wow.
So it's been working out very well.
How about the future, Harvey? I understand you have some pretty cool stuff coming up. Why don't you tell us about that?
Well, of course, there's this new CD coming out, which is another new old. I guess I'm put out a lot of new old CDs, but I didn't put this out. It's a label called A-Train Records, and it's from a broadcast that Alan Broadbent and Sheila Jordan and I did in 1991. And the weirdest thing is, it's virtually impossible, but not totally impossible, to find another CD in jazz with this instrumentation.
Wow.
And all it is bass, vocal, and piano. I can't find any other records. Apparently there's an Alberta Hunter record that she did at the Cookery with that instrumentation, but that's about it. So it's kind of a rare instrumentation, and and Sheila was feeling just free. We had played for 4 or 5 nights there, and this was at the end of the gig, and she was electric. And Alan Broadbent was just ripping the piano to pieces. And it was just a great thing. And it was just meant to be a radio broadcast. But they had recorded it on analog, on reel-to-reel, and A-Train had the tapes after Bud Spangler, who had produced it, passed away. So they wanted to put it out. And they sent it to me, and I really liked it. And Sheila basically asked me to produce it. So, I met with her. We went over all the music. I put the thing together, and it's just out, very recently. And I think it's a great CD.
It's great that you're reviving all these old projects and making them available to people that otherwise would not have been able to access them. So keep doing that if you have other stuff in the can or in the archive.
Yeah, I have some more stuff. But that'll be revealed.
You got to time it just right for the market.
And my next project coming out will be a project from that we did in London at Abbey Road Studios.
That's a famous place.
With myself, Alan Broadbent, again on piano, and Peter Erskine on drums. And we recorded all this music with the London Metropolitan Orchestra, which is a heavyweight orchestra, and Alan wrote all the arrangements. So it's going to be quite an amazing project.
You've got all these distinctly different and unique projects, which is fascinating. I'm wondering, do you have anything percolating that you've always wanted to do, or I haven't gotten around to yet? Someday I'm going to.
Yeah, well, that's in the works now.
Anything you can share with us?
Well, it's interesting. I've made about 18 records as a leader, another 10 as a co-leader, and I've been on about 450 CDs with people. I've never done a CD to feature the bass.
Well, we think it's about time.
Maybe I think I'm getting to the point where I'm getting ready to do that.
Okay, well, please keep us posted. I don't think I asked you this last time, Harvey, but what would you be if you were not a bass player? Something outside of music.
A chef. I love to cook.
What do you like to cook?
Well, it's interesting. I love to make all kinds of, I make an amazing lasagna. I can make all kinds of grilled fish. I'm not like, trying to, do weird things. But I have a knack for cooking and putting together things. I'm like an iron chef. I can go in the kitchen, whatever's there, I can make a meal out of it. And I just love cooking. For me, I probably, am glad I'm not a professional chef, because I don't have to cook for quantities. I can just make what I want. But now, of course, I've been, as I'm getting older, I'm making healthier foods. So I'm learning how to cook with less oil, less fat, less sugar, and making things taste delicious without all that.
Sounds like a challenge. It's a challenge.
I can do it.
Okay.
I can do it.
Harvey, yes, great catching up with you.
John.
It's been a while, but boy, congratulations on all the projects, the old and the new old and the forthcoming and everything else. Keep cranking them out because we love them.
Thank you. And great, keep cranking out this phenomenal magazine, which covers not only the jazz guys, but you cover all the guys, in all the genres, in Latin, in Brazilian, and hip hop, and heavy metal, because we're all bass players, we're all in it, and we really appreciate someone like you who's willing to say the bass is important in all music.
Well, thank you, Harvie. I appreciate your kind words, and I didn't even pay him to say that. Nope. On location at Colstein's Music Shop in New York with Harvie S. I am John Liebman. You're watching for BassPlayersOnly.com.